Hello, everybody, and welcome to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. My name is Nina Addeo, and I'm a social media marketing expert for the wedding industry. And today I want to talk about seasonal marketing. Why do I want to talk about that? Because we are a seasonal industry. So, does that mean we should be marketing seasonally? Let's get into it. Before I do that, I want to let you know that I'm going to be participating in the Click to Convert Summit, where I'm going to be talking about going from behind the lens to the microphone, podcasting for wedding photographers. This summit is specifically for photographers. I happen to think if you are in any creative space, you will get a benefit from it, but particularly if you're a photographer, you're going to get a lot of takeaways. And I'm going to talk about how my podcast, while still not being this top ranking podcast, is getting me leads and is working for my business. So that's going to be at the Click to Convert Summit. You can get a free ticket and I will link that. Now let's talk about seasonal marketing. We talk a lot. I talk a lot about it on this podcast here about how when wedding season's coming, or more so rather, engagement season's coming, we want to be posting, we want to be posting. But the truth is, just because we are a seasonal business does not mean we don't want to be posting when we're busy. I hate, no one wants to hear it, but we want to be posting all the time. This is something I have been struggling with even for my own business. I've gotten so busy that my own posting has fallen through the wayside. So that's something now I'm committing to getting back into and to doing again, and making sure I'm not neglecting any space, because I would never recommend that for a client, so I wouldn't want to do it to my own marketing either. You want to do as I say, not as I do. But we're gonna schedule today. We're gonna get back into it, even for this podcast, because it is something that is for me and not necessarily for a client and part of a contract. When I get busy, this falls through the wayside. But really, the way to grow a podcast is through more good podcast episodes, more good podcasting. And it's going to be the same way to grow your social media. You're not going to grow your Instagram by posting someplace else. You grow your Instagram through being on Instagram. And we want to be nurturing your audience all year round. It is particularly important during the engagement season, of course, but we want to be posting all year round. What will happen is what I post for wedding industry clients will change during the season, but what doesn't change is our frequency. So let's go over some other things that may change during the season. What may change is the type of content we post. For example, after going so hard on Reels, I started looking at the data, and for some clients, the Reels were not what was performing better or bringing in more followers. So I said, all right, well, let's take that back. One less Reel post a week, and replace that with a carousel post and see how that performs. So that's something I will change every season as I review the analytics. I will change who I am talking to or how I am speaking to them. As the seasons change, your business changes, and what your clients are looking for changes, or the type of weddings you are doing changes, right? In some areas, winter is just a dead zone for weddings. In others, it's still happening. Some summer is the season. Other places, summer is so hot that they it's indoor or nothing. So the way you're talking about what you're doing and what's happening and how people can plan and so forth will change. There also is the fact that weddings can are typically booked ahead for most people. And even if you are a last minute addition, there's still, let's say, that 3 month period. So you're always talking a little bit ahead of where you're at. So for our marketing, we need to not only be doing it at all times, but we need to be marketing at least 3 months ahead. So, one of the great reminders of this for me is Christmas in July. That's when I always then start to trickle in my corporate parties and holiday language. Once July hits, we're going to slowly start to feed that in. And we're going to start communicating to couples really now. You're going to be talking to them all year round, but the educational process of getting what your business is and what it does and so forth starts early, because what happens if it doesn't? I was chatting with a friend the other day whose sister just got engaged, and she was floored when I gave her starting prices for flowers and for photography. She was really shocked. And I don't want you guys to have that sticker shock on a sales call, right? Because when somebody's expecting to spend maybe $800 and they realize what they're looking for is 5,000, it can get uncomfortable. So these processes of getting people to your account now and learning about what you do and the cost or the investment and things like that, that's something I'm focused on even before, December 25th, or what you consider the start of your wedding season to be. Right now, when I'm recording this, it's almost Memorial Day, which for many areas is wedding season, or kind of a big start towards it. And from now till October, you will be busy. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you should think, well, I'm busy, I don't need to post on social media now, because you want to be getting those leads. People are getting engaged every day, every weekend worldwide, and you want to be present. You want people to see where you're going to for these weddings, what you're doing, what's happening. See that you're booked and busy, or that you're professional, that you're in the industry, that you're still working, whatever it is. So you still want to create a system that works, and you still want to be posting through the busy season, because I do not want you coming in panicked in November. And even if, let's say, come November, you decide to outsource your social media, we're still going to be combating, even with an expert doing social media with no ads. I have to then build up your account from the months of not posting. And so that takes a little extra time than if you had been posting the entire time. So when somebody's hiring me for social media, I want to have at least 4 posts a week, because that's the minimum I need to hit the ground running and get things moving as quickly as possible from an organic perspective. If you don't have the capacity for that, that's fine. Posting twice a week can and should and will work. If you're going to be at venues, or you're going to be at wedding showers, whatever it is, if you could get 1 to 2 posts a week, maybe at least one of those posts is a new wedding, and maybe one is an older one that you're revisiting and repurposing the content from, and then it'll be easy to follow that formula. And then as you get comfortable with your scheduling, say, let's add in one more, and let's do a review every Wednesday, and then we can continue there. So as you get comfortable with what your format's going to be, it's going to be easier to market during this time. For example, if you went onto your social media today and started talking about communions and graduation parties and barbecues, you kind of missed it. We had to start talking about that in March. So these are things why it's important to be talking at all times, and to always be a little bit ahead. Even if you are exclusively doing weddings, then this may not apply. I'm really talking to somebody who does everything and is looking to do everything. Maybe you're a photo booth, a caterer, etc. So being always kind of a little bit ahead of the game and talking about these things. Otherwise, then the language can be, it's not too late. You still can add this. Did you realize you forgot to add, a specialty cake to your upcoming communion party? Order one for me, whatever it is. So being mindful of the seasons is what seasonal marketing is to me in the wedding social media world. It does not mean we are only marketing seasonally. You need to keep that that train running. If you cannot do that, your options are to either outsource social media or to implement an ad strategy. And the ads will take care of the retargeting and coming up on the feed, and at least still keeping that funnel going and bringing people to you even when you're busy and not able to be posting content. I particularly think this is great for somebody who's maybe posting stories but not feed content, to explore an ad strategy. That is my approach to seasonal marketing. I want to keep this short and sweet because you know how we do it here. I come on no notes and just blabber to you about social media. So if you found something useful from this, I would love the feedback. Send me a message at I Do Wedding Marketing, or you can email your question and I will answer it on the next podcast episode to hello@idoweddingmarketing.com. Next up is the Click to Convert Summit. So you're going to want to grab your free ticket in the show notes. And I have got some good interviews lined up that I'm going to be scheduling and plugging away at today. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those. And I will see you on the next I Do Wedding Marketing podcast episode. Thanks for being here.